Hey everybody, how you doing? This is your boy Gerald. It is the 13th of March, 2013. It's still a little cold here in Virginia Beach, but we starting to see little remnants of spring, which is always a positive. I felt like this morning talking about relationships and how our relationships really are a reflection of who we are within. Have you noticed how relationships or connections have dominated every aspect of our lives? You hear about it in the radio, you see it on the TV, and it's very bleak. Um, it's just really very chaotic. And unfortunately, it's been a testament of it doesn't matter what material gain you have, from the largest to the smallest, if you don't have balance within yourself. So I wanted to talk about that. As I mentioned before, until you have dominion over yourself, everything that you do come in contact is a reflection of that. When you're in balance with yourself, you make sound decisions, as well as your life is in flow. It could be a monsoon outside your door, but if you're at peace with yourself, you're fine. You're happy. You have a glow within your spirit. It's because you are reverberating that emotional connection, your spirit, outside, and outside it's coming back to you. But when there's an imbalance, we tend to, the things that have been troubling us always have the most intensity all the time. It can be downright frightening. But I'm here to tell you this. When you take the time to start loving yourself, you'll start to gain a new perspective and direction on your life. You'll start to see the things that truly matter and the things that really were serving as a distraction. Now, your greatest responsibility is to love yourself first and foremost. And if you're loving yourself, you're going to take the time, to one step at a time, put things where they should be, move things where they should not. But you will have such a sound way of thought. Have you noticed that we as human beings always have energy to focus on the things we really don't need? I'll tell you why. Because it serves as a distractor for the things that should take priority. That's where ego really places a foothold in your life. You can't fall for that, y'all. You cannot. When you're hearing that voice that says rebel, that says I gotta take charge, I don't care where the chips fall, I gotta do me. Just take a second. Think about what you're gonna do before you do it. What you may say before you convey that message, because first and foremost, words, how we communicate, it should coincide how you feel within. But if you're not taking the time to really look at why you feel that way, what's causing you to react that way, or basically allowing life to live for you instead of you taking control of your life, that's when we find our greatest disappointments. So what I want you guys to understand is this: people are going to be people. You have no control over what another person thinks, says, or does. But if it's in flow, if it's in balance, not only are you going to allow growth between that interaction, but it should reverberate vice versa. Remember, sender, receiver. If it feels like it's imbalanced for a reason. Maybe perhaps the foundation, how that connection was built, wasn't a good decision, which causes you to look back in yourself. Ask yourself these questions. What do I have to do for myself to ensure my happiness? Am I taking the time to invest in the things that truly make me happy? Or am I shortchanging myself just to have acceptance to that situation? Here's another one. Is that connection viable for growth? Is this person a liability? Or is this situation truly in my best interest? See, when you don't have a balance in your thought process, what happens is your pride, your ego, or any negative connection to who you are will always take you away from where your destiny or legacy is. And when that happens, and it always does, it's still your responsibility to stop, assess where you are, reflect on where you've been, and truly make the conscious decisions to change. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand is this. Yes, it is very, very important. Everybody wants to have a connection with that certain situation, person. But if you don't have a connection with yourself first, you're actually disconnected from your reality. So you got to ask yourself this. Who am I? What does it take for me to feel happy? No one can do that for you. No one. If anything, their connection with you should enhance what you already possess. But if that connection is not causing you to grow emotionally, you got to ask yourself, why are you holding on to it? You You got to ask yourself, what is it in it for me? Ladies, you spend so much effort inside your mind. You emotionally navigate your day by emotion. But are you taking the time to see the motivation on why you do what you do? Because the last thing you want to do is see that, wow, I made a bad choice. And if I made a bad choice here, what about the decision I made to get to this choice? And so on and so on and so on and so on. Well, you know why you do that? It's because your ego, your validation, the emotional connection of who you are. That's why you're given the gift of nurturement in the beginning. That's why you have been given divinity to be deemed mother. The world needs you. It is your responsibility to uphold that responsibility. That is a divine gift. But what happens sometimes is you get knocked off a step, and you try to pick up where you got knocked off with, not allowing yourself time to heal. And then you make another choice off of that choice. And instead of it navigating you back where you're supposed to be, the motivation for that, you find yourself way off course. You feel lost, alone, uncared for, and sadly, undesired. Let me tell you something. The people that truly care about you, truly care about you, they're going to always be there. They're going to always be there. Because as they're growing, they're watching you grow. They're going to always want your best interests. But it is your responsibility to validate within yourself. Do not give your power, your dominion, to anyone else. Protect it. Look at life on life's terms. If you're making choices because of what you can get out of a situation, I hate to tell you, you'll never get what you want. It's always the price that you pay. You deserve better than that, sweetie. You do. You do. But you got to start loving yourself. Reconnect to that little girl that's inside of you. Start doing the self-work. One brick at a time. One foot in front of the other. It's time to heal yourself. Here's a telltale sign of a person that's really asking for help. How many times have you gone somewhere and there's that one person that's so outspoken, and maybe physically how they dress or how they verbalize their communication, all that is that person saying, hey, I need to be loved so badly because there's something broken in me that I'm willing to put my self-worth to the world at all costs. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because all you're going to find out of that is the things that you don't need. The people that will only see you in that light. And unfortunately, they will not change it. And until you wake up and see your worth, the flower of this earth is going to intensify. It's not going to get better. That's why you always hear people saying, oh, you've changed. Oh, worse. Oh, now you want to change things? It wasn't like that in the get-go, because that was the perception that you gave. You gave that power to that person. And they're not going to change. So please be leery of the things that you wish to have in your life. Please do so. Because if you don't, you'll be paying a price that will take a lifetime to pay. Respect yourself. Fellas, it's time to man up. Speak your truths. They didn't give you the title man for nothing. We got too many bad examples. Be that one that is an exception to the rule. Govern your life. Stop looking for an excuse not to do so. When you start loving yourself, your life will be made new. Stop looking what's on the boob tube for inspiration. You're going to find nothing but negative. Negative. And what you fail to realize is when those cameras are cut off, they go back to their regular lives. And the ones that don't, haven't you noticed? Their lives are in shambles. It's because they're not governing their lives. Don't worry. If you do the work, you will get the reward. So respect yourself. Validate who you are. Nurture the things you need. And you'll have the things you want. But you gotta start loving yourself, y'all. Stop falling for the okie doke. Because guess what? If it's divinely meant for you to have, it will be there, and it'll be better than you ever thought it could ever be. But you gotta first validate you. And if you don't know who you are, how can you know what your reality is? Don't fall prey to that. Do the work. God loves you. I'm praying for you. Hit me up, y'all. I'd love to know what's going on. And if I can help you out, by all means subscribe. Look forward to hearing from you. Stay blessed.